see so many bright and early today. Glad you are here. So my name is Tracy Irby, and I'm the director for the Center for Women Entrepreneurs. If you aren't familiar with us, we are part of the larger Jane Nelson Institute for Women's Leadership. The Institute is dedicated to preparing more women to take on successful roles in business and public service. We also have a new center, the Center for Leadership Research and Workforce Development, that they're looking to hire the director right now. So glad all of you are here. Our center was funded in 2015 by the state legislature just to help promote women anywhere in the state of Texas, grow, start, expand a business. So I'd like to introduce our staff. So that is Lourdes Ramboa there. She's our Associate Director of Business Development. We see Kimberly online. She is our statewide program manager, but she is also our online hostess. We have Christina, our small business advisor. She's up in the top over there. We have Brielle, who is our program coordinator, back over in that corner. And Barbara Renke is our program director, who would have checked you in. So what we like to do is have everybody introduce themselves. So we'll go around the room, just say your name and your business, because we love to hear from everybody in here. And all of you that are online, excuse me, please put your information in the chat. We do share the chat afterwards, so y'all can see who the online people are and what their businesses are. All right, so virtual, you're gonna get it as well. So if you want to start.
All right. Hello, my name is Sarah Clines, and I work for a power bookkeeping firm. And that's my mom. We educate in that business.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Liliana Flores. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I have a private practice.
Hello, my name is Lanre, Lanre, and I'm just starting business. I used to be in academics. I was a professor for pharmacognosy and herbal medicine, but now I'm trying to do something else, working with natural fabrics to create everyday stuff.
Hi, my name is Danny Tremont. I have a nonprofit organization called Fight for Your Light. I work in the juvenile detention center, teaching them life skills and moving over to financial literacy and setting them up for success whenever they leave there. And yeah, that's me. And this is my friend.
I'm Danny's friend, Kanisha. And currently I'm an elementary educator, but I am exploring options to change careers.
I'm Heather, and I'm here to make you smile. I have a private studio here on the square where you can come get your teeth whitened, and you're going to pay a lot less money than going to your dentist, but that is my background. And I'm also mobile. You can come to your home or office.
Hi, my name is Charity Lujan, and I just started learning speech and learning services. I've been a pediatric speech language pathologist for over 20 years, and I'm excited to move from working in the schools and to doing some things on my own.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alethea West, and I'm the owner of Bridging the Gap Learning Center. Bridging the Gap Learning Center is a full-service student academic support center. I'm new to Texas and trying to get established here in Texas to scale my business. Thank you.
I'm Audrey. I'm with Heart Media. We are a full-service social media agency based here in Denton. We like to say that we run your social media. You get to just run your business. And we just are finally having our permanent podcast space. So if you're interested in podcasting, let us know.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cynthia.
I am in wealth management with Dallas Capital Advisors, and I work with women and entrepreneurs to solve their complex financial.
Hello, good morning. I am Melissa Patterson with Me Time Soaps. I make goat milk soaps, lotions, all your soap sets and self-care. So, thank you.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Katie. I'm the founder of Manina Insight Consulting. I work with women who are navigating professional or personal change so we can help them move forward with confidence and clarity. I just opened my books July 1st, so if you're interested or you know someone who may, let me know.
Hello, good morning. My name is Greta King. I am the founder of Shift Broadcasting Network. I open the airwaves for Kingdom Voices, Business, and Ministries.
Good morning. My name is Erica Rodriguez, and I'm with A2C Movers. I'm partnered with my friend, and we're just starting our business and working for it. Good morning. My name is Monica Ortiz, and I'm with Erica. Good morning, I'm Trisha John with WeRISE and Great Wellness Coaching and Consulting. I am a maternal health coach, so I work with women in pre-pregnancy all the way through empty nesting. And then also my background is school nursing, so I also, the part of the consulting part is help parents who have children in the school systems with chronic conditions, and they are struggling navigating the system to get their child the needs that the supports that they need in schools done.
Good morning, my name is Eileen. I run a vintage clothing business and I'm also a photographer on the side. And I'm also exploring career, changing all the things. So.
My name is Marge Atkinson. Ask Marge the research stage. People ask me where I was when they were in grad school. So I coach grad students to make sure they get through their dissertations and finish on time. And I'm now targeting businesses to have me come in and help their employees who are doing tuition reimbursement so that they do not drop out and leave the company and owe all the money and all the things.
Hi, my name is May Lee, and I'm a former PhD scientist. I transitioned out of the lab and became an executive recruiter for scientists that work in drug discovery. And now I'm making another transition. I want to help women break out of the 9-to-5 employee mindset and become entrepreneurs.
Hi, my name is Veronica Romero, and I've been a paralegal for over 35 years, but right now I'm trying to transition into something else. Thank you.
Hello, I'm April Bass. It was formerly in academics, transitioned to nonprofits, and now I founded the Trans Architect so that I can focus on pre-award program development for nonprofits and mission-based organizations.
Hi, my name is Taylor Strong. I worked for about 9.5 years at IBM AI Data Analytics. Decided I'm going to start my own company not too long ago called Tailored AI. Main focus on like voice agents right now. The idea is I just kind of want to get out here, understand what small businesses actually needed help with and where AI may be able to help and kind of tailor a solution to the businesses.
Hi, my name is Chetna. I'm a co-owner of CK Holdings, which makes high quality small batch organic hummus. I'm also a software engineering manager. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Ashley Williams. I'm the founder of Alice Sagacity. My background is over a decade as a physician assistant in orthopedics. And I saw a huge gap of that education to the first day of work. So that's what Alice Sagacity does. We help upskill, reskill, and get people ready for the workforce.
I am Jared Williams, 30 years cybersecurity, and I'm the tech nerd behind our business. So.
Hi, my name is Amanda, and I'm the founder of Femtech IT, and I'm an independent technology advisor. And so I help small, medium businesses, especially women owned. I like to focus, that's my niche, is to help women owning businesses. And I help them find the best IT products, services, licenses. So I am partnered with the largest IT channel in the US. So I have access to thousands of vendors. So I can find anything from cybersecurity, networking, storage, whatever it may be, communications. Think of me as your personal IT shopper. My name's Amanda. Hello everyone, my name is Gabriela Escobar. I'm a recent biochemistry graduate and I'm looking to create my own opportunities either in industry or academia.
Thank you all. All right, do you want to grab one of these over there?
doesn't want to be there.
All right.
I use for Zell.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Keisha Ortiz. I'm a real estate investor and I'm looking for transitional homes that can help with my nonprofit, Oasis Women's Center. And we're providing transitional homes for women in recovery from drug and alcohol addiction.
All right, great. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna be happy to introduce our speaker for today. We have Stephanie Matlock, and she's going to be sharing practical tools to help you better understand your profit and loss statement, manage cash flow, and lead your business with greater confidence. Stephanie is the founder and CEO of Empower Bookkeeping Firm with more than 30 years of accounting experience and over 20 years as an entrepreneur. She helps business owners understand their numbers, build practical financial systems, and manage confident decisions. So please join us in welcoming Stephanie.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for coming out this morning and taking some time for yourself and getting started here. Let's see. First of all, I want to start off and let you know that this isn't about accounting jargon or shame, because I know how it can be when you are trying to learn your numbers and trying to keep up with them, right? So I want you to take a brief moment and while we get started, this QR code here, there's a job form here where you can follow along with some of the activities that we're going to be doing a little later. And you could fill it out and here. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to build a simple P&L and a cash flow. And you'll leave with one money habit and one boundary for yourself. As she mentioned here previously, that I am Stephanie Matlock of Empower Bookkeeping Firm, and I have 21 years of entrepreneur in my business in the accounting industry. And I'm a Goldman Sachs 10,000 small business graduate, as well as a 1 million Black women, Black in business mentor. We just wrapped up our cohort last week, for cohort 9. So I really believe in giving back. So that's definitely a part of this. So I'm just going to quickly run through this. Thank you guys. Now, today's roadmap is we're going to be talking about money feelings, why money is smart, why smart entrepreneurs still avoid numbers, your profit story, how to read a simple P&L without getting lost, and then why profit and cash are not the same thing, as well as a hands-on activity where we're going to build a simple cash flow, a simplified cash flow, inflows, outflows, and then we're going to talk about what's left. And with those, what's left, we're going to move those into 3 buckets. The 3 buckets are taxes, paying yourself, and savings. So we want to remember that starting small counts. 5%, any percent, better than 0, right? And then we're going to talk about a 7-day action plan. And here again is the QR code for you to be able to follow along on today. So, briefly talk about why numbers sometimes feel heavy, right? Take a look at these things, what many business owners say, right? I'm afraid to look. I know my books are messed up. I'm making money, but I just don't know where it goes, right? And then I will handle it when things slow down. And things tend to never slow down as entrepreneurs. We're busy juggling life and life, right? Life be life, as we say. But today's refrain is we're going to move to numbers are not a grade and they are a flashlight, right? They show what's happening so you can make better decisions for your next step. And when I think about these things, I think about a client named Maria. She runs a successful catering business for 3 years, bringing in real revenue, right? But she hadn't opened her QuickBooks in over a year. She told me that she was just thinking about her books made her sick. So when we finally sat down and looked over her numbers, she figured, my calendar is full, my business is booming. I really don't need to look at those, right? But when we finally sat down together, the business wasn't a disaster. It was profitable, right? And she never translated busy into a story that she could read. Like I said, her words after us going through everything was, I thought I was gonna be exposed, but I actually feel relieved. That relief is what we're going for today. So I want you to remember that numbers are not a grade, that they're a flashlight. So your P&L, these two items, your P&L and your cash flow, they tell two different stories. Your profit and loss answers the questions, did the business model work? It looks at revenue minus expenses, and it equals your profit or loss. While your cash flow, it answers the question, can I pay what needs to be paid? It looks at cash coming in minus cash going out, and that equals what's left. And it's best for survival, right? You want to use this to know if you're going to be able to pay your taxes, pay yourself, and then just peace in general. Now here is a sample profit and loss statement. Revenue at the top equals your everything that's earned before everything is earned before cost, right? Then we have the cost of goods, which is what it costs to deliver your product or service. And then your gross profit minus your operating costs. Your operating cost is everything that it takes to run your business. And that equals your net profit. When you're looking at your profit and loss, you want to ask these simple questions: what came in, what came out, and what's left on paper. The thing for you to remember is your net profit is not the same as the cash in your bank. And this statement tells the story, but it doesn't tell the whole story, right? So we have in plain English, your sales minus your cost is equals what's earned on paper, but not in your bank statement, right? But not in your bank balance. So those are things just to remember as you're running through your business. Next, we're going to talk about how to read your profit and loss in 60 seconds. Now, we want to make this a habit, just like a quick habit, but a weekly habit, right? So we're going to take things that we're going to look at briefly. We're going to look at your revenue. We're going to scan your expenses, find your net profit, and then compare it to cash. And when we're looking at the revenue, just to kind of give you more detail, we're going to look at, is it growing? Is it flat? Or is it dropping? Then when we scan our expenses, what categories are creeping up? what are some things that you might notice that before you notice they're extremely high? One of those categories is dues and subscriptions. You'll turn around and you'll have this Claude AI, and then you'll have your CRM, and then your Microsoft or whatever. So those are categories that you want to watch out for creep. Then 3, you'll find your net profit. Did the business make money on paper? And some months you will, and some months you won't, and it's okay. But as long as you're looking at it, then you're able to flash that light on your business and make sure that you're looking at this, right? And then 4, we want to compare to the cash. Does this story match what's in your bank? And if it's not, that's fine, because we have other expenses that we're not looking at right here, but you at least want to take a moment to look at it, right? You don't want to have a week go by within your business, or at least every 2 weeks, where you're looking at your finances and making sure that you're checking this 60-second, doing the 60-second activity. Okay. So the cash flow. This is the story that keeps your business alive. Cash flow is not fancy, right? It's what came in, what came out, and what's left. And when you think about your cash flows, you want to think about patterns that you have in your business. It's all about timing when you think about your statement of cash flows. We're talking about the client that takes 30 to 60 days to pay you. The tax payments that creep up at the same time that you're paying payroll, or a slow paying client that has your AR looking crazy and wishing that they would pay you sooner. So here's some things that are your inflows. Some examples here are customer payments, grant money, deposits, and product sales. And then you have some outflows. This is money that leaves that actually leaves, right? Rent, supplies, marketing, loan payments, payroll, and taxes. And then we talk about what's left, right? It helps you decide what you want to pay. You're paying yourself, you're going to pay your taxes, or we're going to put some into savings, or we're going to use this money to reinvest back into our business. Now, we're going to slowly be moving into an exercise here. And as we go into it, I'm going to tell you just a couple of these 3 things just to remember, and then we're going to fill it out on the next page. And I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to tell me some examples of some things that you guys are doing. So 1, we're just going to choose your business. And you're going to use your own business, a future business, or an idea, and we're going to work on the sample worksheet. I want you to list up to 3 of your biggest inflows. So that can include the top 3 categories of your business that you're making income in, or your product or your service that you're using. And you can just use estimates. And then we're going to talk about what's left and what decisions are made from that number. So here are our buckets, right? I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to fill this in, and you can fill it in online on the job form that I put there, or you can just write it on a piece of paper. And then I want you to take a couple of minutes to share with your neighbor what they are. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes here, a minute or 2. So we're going to you put down your inflows, your outflows, and then what's something I want you guys to be thinking about, because I'm going to call on one of you or 2 of you and ask you, what are you going to do with what's left with the amount of, after your inflows and outflows?
Where'd they go? Okay, then, and if you guys get a moment after that, I want you to, share with your neighbor what your, a couple of your inflows and your outflows are here. And then I'm gonna call on you to ask what, maybe you can share some of your numbers, or you can share what's left and what you plan on doing. What's your name?
I'm just making it.
I don't have anything going on up until.
Right.
It's like, yeah, that's why I'm here. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's.
I only put it. Right now. Everyone, let me get your attention. Okay, I'm like, yeah. All right, everyone, I want to know what you like to
They want to keep talking. I see. Stephanie wants y'all to share a little bit. Yes, I want somebody to share. Who would like to share their numbers, or at least share what they're gonna do with what's left?
I'll share. I don't mind sharing.
Okay.
Hello again. I kept the 5,000 at the top. I didn't change it. And as I shared with you all earlier, I own a learning center, but it is not brick and mortar. It's concierge. And so for the concierge on the tutoring side, I just bring in maybe like 700 a month on that. But I also with my business, I do academic workshops for Trio Upward Bound. And so I only do those in the summer. And so one contract, I'm really being transparent. One, and this is scary for me right now. One contract will bring me $10,000. But remember that only happens in the summer, summer months. And so my inflows kind of net 5,000 gave me like 15,700. And so then my supplies, because I'm not a brick and mortar, which saves me money. And I don't have to put out money for supplies every month. So I just put $30. I'm frugal oogle. Software, I put $40. Marketing is 175, but that's not all the time. But that's just, and I'll share if you don't know, with the United States Post Office, you can do targeted marketing and they'll send your information to certain subdivisions if you want it, so just an FYI. So that's what that is. And then the loan payment, I put $60. Taxes I did not put in there, because that's annual, but that's not a whole lot. I'm just put 340. A whole lot for me. And so that left me with $16,345. And what will I do with that? Sit on it. I would just sit on it because it's scary to spend money, when in my situation, when my contracts are not, they're not stable. It depends on if the upper bound wants me for a particular thing, so.
And while you're sitting on it, what I'm gonna suggest that you do with that is put a certain percentage up for taxes, because the tax man is gonna want their money regardless, right? So we're gonna move into that here in a moment, and it's called the April surprise. And we don't want that, right? So that's one category that we want to think about moving and sharing. Click it down. Yeah, sure.
Okay, you know, like,
We'll work through this together. We get a bunch of numbers. We're fudging some numbers.
It's all good. This is for fun.
So tax flows, we have healthcare programs is 8K, workforce readiness 7.5K, books, courses, memberships 4.5, so 4,500. And we kept the 5 at the top, so it ended up 25K at the inflow. Cash outflows, we have suppliers, marketing, software admin, contract pay and taxes total about 8K. And then, so you have 17K left over. We do 10% to God, we tithe, that's what we do. And then 60% comes to our bank account and kind of a.
so sorry. Yeah, sorry, she misread. So 30% is to pay us first and stability, and then the leftover 60 is our advisors and where they tell us for taxes and things like that.
Good. All right, good. So that is good. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you for opening up and sharing that. So that's what we're going to talk about next, is what goes left, right? What goes with what's left. And we talk about bucket 1, which is going to be your taxes. I would say you start here, right? Even if it's a small percentage, that builds into a habit. So it reduces that April panic. And then bucket 2, pay yourself. Your business should eventually support you, right? Be small, but just be consistent. And then bucket 3, we're going into cushions and savings. And that cash cushion creates options for later. And it also helps with slow months, emergencies, and for you to reinvest. So I would say that at least with the taxes, you're doing a minimum of 5%, right? Because to help reduce that panic here at the end of the year, which the April surprise is not a strategy. Now, this pattern shows up so often, especially with entrepreneurs. You're in your first, second year, 5th year, 10th year of business, and sometimes you still get this April surprise, right? I think about one of my clients, Denise, who she came to the end of the quarter here. We're in 4th quarter. She had 2 big contracts that she landed, and when she got that money, she didn't put any of it up for taxes. It came to the end of the year. Taxman wanted his money, and her spouse were sorely surprised with that bill, right? Because she didn't put up anything for that April surprise. When you think about your pattern, the common pattern here that is used, when a good job lands late in the year, you might not have that consistency throughout the year and you think, oh, well, I'll just pay it later. It'll get taken care of eventually, but who's gonna take care of it is gonna be you. So you need to make sure that you set that money aside, right? Net income, your net income goes up, quarterly tax deadlines have passed. And then once those pass, then you get the penalties and the interest from not filing those quarterly estimated tax payments. And then now cash is tight and the tax bill is real. So the better habit is to use cash flow monthly. Set aside a certain percentage for yourself and then review them quarterly. Also, ask for help before the deadline comes. If you find yourself in a situation, reach out to your tax preparer, your CPA, someone that can help you with hitting those deadlines and knowing what percentage you need to put up for yourself. Here are some examples of some businesses that have services and that have products, and some inflows of your business and some outflows, and then decisions that you need to make as a business owner. You have, say if you're I think we had a lot more of the services in here than we didn't necessarily products we had. So I'll just go over the photographer business. Some inflows that you have session deposit, final payments, and mini sessions, right, that you are coming in for money. Then you have outflows, you have your editing software, equipment, contractors, marketing, and decisions that you need to think about is, can I pay myself and still cover upcoming expenses? So you can think about which one your business flows into. Now, we want to set up a monthly rhythm for yourself. One is to pull your P&L and do that 60-second review. Then 2, update your cash flow statement, what comes in, what goes out, and then what's left, and then funding your buckets, right? Taxes, pay yourself, or savings. Then 4, we're going to choose one move. We're either going to reduce the cost, we're going to follow up on one invoice that's still outstanding, or we're going to plan for a purchase. Now, for the 7-day action plan, we are going to, this is going to take 15 to 20 minutes that you do per month, right? You're going to pick one of these reports. You can pick the simple P&L for 1 month. If you don't have software, you can use your bank statement and merely go through and here are my expenses, here are my income, what's left. Then you pick one cash number, you write down your current cash balance and what must be paid before the end of the month. And then 2 is you set a new money rule. You choose one rule that protects your cash, require a deposit before starting work, because as I know, as women, we tend to just feel so excited about helping someone and being able to show our expertise that we don't think, oh, well, let me get a deposit before I start. So those are things that you want to think about. You want to set up clear payment terms or cap a specific category, a spending category for the month. And these are things that you want to do for the month. And you should ask these questions. Ask yourself these questions. What should I look at first? What does this number mean? And what decision does it help me make? When you're reviewing your all of your reports, your P&L, your cash flows, and your doing the figuring out your rhythm, and you pick one report that you're going to do, you want to ask yourself these questions. What is it that this report answers for me? Yeah, I have one more activity. I do want to, if you notice on the job form, there are some dates for your quarterly taxes that you want to think about, which are the 15th of April, June, September, and January of the following month for you to put together your estimated tax payments. The payments are due into the IRS by that time. Those are some important deadlines that you want to think about. We just had at the end of the quarter, the following 15th, the following 15th of the month is when your tax payments are due. And even if you're paying a small amount for yourself, it will just help ease that anxiety at the end of the year, right? When it's tax time. Like I said, 5%, 6% is better than anything. And then as it pertains to picking one report, I wanted to ask you guys, what report do you feel is going to be helpful for your business when it comes to doing that? We'll do it. Yes. Okay. Oh, we can do it here. We'll do that. All right. So, I want to know what report do you guys feel is going to be most helpful and easier? What rhythm or what report are you going to choose for this upcoming next 7 days? I want you guys to definitely put in something, even if it's just a quick 30 to 60-second thing. What's coming in, what's going out, and what's left. The statement of cash flows, and you got to think about what you have that's due, that's upcoming. These hidden things that you don't think about that are due. So, anyone want to share any report they plan on doing here? For your 7-day action plan.
So I like the way you did the P&L. The way I saw it, we're gonna have revenue, and we're gonna do cost of goods sold, gross profit, operating expenses, and net profit kind of in part of that report that I wasn't doing before.
I'm glad that you found something helpful.
Stephanie, Aubrey in the virtual room says she's going to be looking at the cash flow. She feels that's the most important for her.
Good. Anyone else like to share? Anyone want to set a one money rule? We see the cash flow is really important. Also, if you okay, well, we can go to Q&A. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can go to Q&A. All right.
All right, any questions online, Kimberly?
Well, not specifically on the one money rule, just an overall question.
Just any question, any question.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Sorry, I keep a list here. From Thea, she asked for the 60-second review. Do most people look at that in their bank account or do they download it? She specifically doesn't have QuickBooks, so she uses Excel. But she has an online account that also shows her specifically all her expenses.
Okay, yeah, you can use your bank statement and then spit it into Excel or, divide it up into Excel and then create just your quick and easy, simple P&L.
Any questions here in the room? Yes.
So
that they can hear you online.
Thank you so much. So I just have a question for the business owners that maybe they are not firmly in revenue yet. How would you use this information to do projections? So if you're trying to think about what services or products or things that you want to provide, how would you use some of these tools to be able to do projections? Or could you use these tools to do projections? Because there may be people that maybe you haven't started bringing in the funds, so you can't really estimate what's going out, what's coming in.
Well, if you know what industry, whatever industry you're gonna have for your business, you wanna think about the expenses that are gonna be associated with that. And then kind of just do some basic ones there, right? Some things that you know that you're gonna have to have in order for your business to be successful, you wanna set those up. And then also set up your revenue streams. What are the specific services? What are the specific products that you plan on bringing into play for your business, and write them there? And it would be easier. You don't want to get, it depends on how detailed you want to get, but just to start off, I would start off with 3 revenue streams, then your multiple expenses that you know that you're going to need in order for your business to be successful.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking when you did that. That's kind of what I was thinking when you showed the P&L and you showed stream 1, 2, and 3. That at a minimum start with those 3 streams, just kind of thinking about it, estimating what that would look like, and then maybe going out to do some research to see what those streams would actually bring in.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You always say don't reinvent the wheel. Oh.
All
All right, another question online, Kimberly?
No, not at this time. This has been fabulous, Stephanie. Thank you. I have all kinds of notes.
I have a question here in person, so I'm gonna go to the back to get that question.
Good morning, everyone. Quick question. I know you mentioned income from the marketing space and business plan as well. So from your standpoint, what will be the recommendation for business owners to set aside on the marketing side when you're building these kind of budgets and things in the P&L? Because there's a lot of misconceptions out there. But from your experience, what will be the percentage that you will recommend, depending, of course, on the business, but percentage-wise that you can recommend us for the marketing side?
That's a good question, because it really depends upon the business and what your budget is. I have been in business for 21 years, and I want to say just within the last 3 years have I set aside any budget for other than like networking and things of that nature. But now, I'm doing Facebook ads and you're doing this. So it could be as little as $50 for your business card, or $250 for someone someone to help you place ads on Instagram. It really depends. I want to say I wouldn't have a certain percentage that I could tell you off the top of my head for that.
So I recommend business 10 to 15% of the budget, but that's from the marketing perspective.
Gotcha.
But CPAs and you guys know your numbers better than we do.
Yeah, but 10% doesn't sound bad. 10% doesn't sound bad as long as you can see
The return.
the return on it.
True.
Thank you. I've been referring.
Any other questions?
I have another question.
Other question in person. That is okay. That's what we're here for, right?
I have another question. So for those categories that are going out, do you have any references or any reference material to kind of outline what can fall into those categories? So for example, she mentioned marketing. Is it marketing for social media? Is it business cards? Is it networking? Is it? Do you have any references like that, just to kind of get us thinking through what really needs to be in those buckets? Because it's kind of rolled up into a row.
Right. And when you I do have my newsletter here that you guys can scan, and then I send out different information to let you know things of that nature. But where I would start is go online and type in chart of accounts. So chart of accounts for your business is going to give you a lot of expense categories, and that's what we use to set up your QuickBooks, set up your software, and you can be as detailed or as simple as you want. It could be marketing, or it could be the sub accounts, online, in person, and what you're going to be spending there. And one thing I want you to think about as you're networking, as you know, a lot of people are transitioning into starting their business, is mileage. A lot of people lose out on their mileage. Everybody should have their starting point for today where they came here, and then when they go back to their home or their office, written down somewhere, and then turn it into your tax man at the end of the year, because that's where you're going to get more bang for your buck.
There's some really good mileage online trackers.
I was gonna say that,
Yes.
QuickBooks,
yeah,
I actually do automatically,
Mhm.
it keeps track of all my mileage, everything else, so I don't have to do it. My CPA would always,
Yes.
like, and as well, when you're, well, and track the time and track the conversation that you have with professionals, because that is also monetizing your time
Exactly.
and things that you
Could potentially write off. And yeah, that's where I make sure that I get all my solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, hey, what is your mileage? Have you been keeping up with that? Because that could equal up to $3,000 write-off really easily and quickly and reduce that tax bill.
And if you don't have QuickBooks, Excel works just fine too.
Yes, exactly. You don't want to, you want to keep your expenses low for starting off.
All right, Kimberly, any last questions or comments?
I thought there was one great comment that Tia, working through this, decided she needs one more revenue stream already, just in that little time. So I thought that was very exciting.
Great insight. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, we have a little something.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. Let's hear it for our speaker. And thank you all for being transparent with it too, because I know startups many times may not even have a clue what any of these documents are.
Exactly.
So if you aren't sure, it's okay, but find out, talk with a tax person, a bookkeeper, anyone that can help you go through it. Because I know many times we just jump into it and don't think about all the other things. So you brought such great information to everybody. Thank you.
And I like that you keep it simple, because sometimes numbers can be scary, right? Yes. And it is scary sometimes. And I used to say, my parents were accountant, I used to say that's like a foreign language. And so, yes, it can be for entrepreneurs, it can be a little bit scary. So I appreciate that you brought it simple, clear, and to the point. So before I let Kimberly take over online, just upcoming events, join us for our August WeRISE. We're gonna have From Overwhelmed to Empower Practical AI Literacy Workshop for business owners. Also want to let you know that our CW Accelerator in Houston applications are open now through August 6th. So please, if you know anybody in Houston, that one is in person, so please shout out to that. We also have the CW Accelerator here in Denton, and those applications are open through July 31st as well. So thank you, Stephanie, for sharing such valuable insights. Everybody will receive, once we get it all downloaded and all that good stuff, a copy of the link to the video, as well as the resources Stephanie provided. But at this time, I'm going to turn over the online audience back to Kimberly to network some more, and we will see you guys next month. Thank you.